Ayan nga good morning, good afternoon, good evening kung anong oras nyo man ito papanoodin. Kami nga po yung natasan na grupo na mag-report ng nitrogen cycle. So, bago tayo mapunta sa discussion, syempre, kailangan muna naman magpakilala ng group namin by this simple chant na handog ng Jukan Productions.
Let's go.
Ako si Timothy.
Okay.
Ako si Abdel.
Ako naman si Michelle.
Let's go.
Naman si Sian.
Ako si Martin Aka.
Say what?
Wala ka man. Wala ka man.
I know.
Kami ang Nitrogeniuses.
Break it down, man.
And so, kilala nyo na kami, kilala nyo ng mga groupmates namin. Dumaka na tayo dun sa discussion. Pero bago yun, kailangan mo natin pag-isipan or pag-aralan kung ano nga ba ang importance nitong nitrogen cycle sa ating buhay. Hindi naman ito ibibigay sa atin kung wala naman talaga siyang importance. O, di ba nakakainis naman? O, imbis na na sinasabihan ko si Kim Shu na bawal lumabas, tumatambling ako, tinatapon ko yung pamangkin ko sa ere. O, may importance yan. So, ano nga ba talaga yung importance ng nitrogen cycle? Ang nitrogen cycle, tinutulungan niya yung plants na masynthesize yung chlorophyll, which is essential sa photosynthesis, na nakakapag-produce ng proteins sa mga halaman na eventually naglilid siya para makain ng mga herbivores or ng mga animals. So, bakit nga ba yun mahalaga? Yun nga, needed siya or essential siya sa pag-produce ng food natin. Kasi, di ba, mayroon tayong tinatawag na food chain or food web. Yun. Eventually, leading yung sa maliit na bagay na yun, doon sa, sa food source natin. So, essential talaga yung nitrogen cycle, lalong-lalo na sa pag-produce ng food. And isa pa is, nitrogen is also important sa buhay natin kasi nga isa rin yung building blocks that is needed for amino acids or proteins, and isa rin yun sa key element in the nucleic acids that is needed in DNA and RNA, at yun nga, most important of all biological molecules, and crucial siya for all living things. Yan. So, alam niyo na kung anong importance ng nitrogen sa buhay natin. So, bibigyan ko na kayo ng general idea kung ano nga ba yung nitrogen cycle. So, as you can see from the picture, ang atmospheric nitrogen, ito muna, tanong ko muna sa inyo. Pwede bang ma-receive ng plants ang atmospheric nitrogen directly? No. The answer is no. Kaya, may gino-go through siya na process or cycle para ma-absorb ng plants ang atmospheric nitrogen. So, atmospheric nitrogen are turned into bacteria, then into the nitrate, then babalik siya sa atmospheric nitrogen. So, yun lang yung general idea or concept ng nitrogen cycle. So, let's get into details na. And ito yung ipapaliwanag ng mga ka-groupmates ko.
The first step is nitrogen fixation. The term fixation refers to converting an element to its usable form. In this stage, nitrogen moves from the atmosphere into the soil. Yung Earth atmosphere natin, nagko-contain siya ng napakaraming nitrogen gas. But this nitrogen is unavailable to plants because the gaseous form cannot be used directly by plants nang walang transformation na nagaganap. Yung nitrogen must be transformed through a process of fixation. Yung fixation convert yung nitrogen in the atmosphere into forms that plants can absorb through their roots. There are 3 types of fixation. Number 1, biological nitrogen fixation. The nitrogen gas diffuses into the soil, and the bacteria consists of nitrogenase enzyme will combine the gaseous nitrogen with hydrogen to form ammonia na makakatulong sa halaman. Examples of bacteria: Azotobacter, Clostridium, Rhizobium, Nostob, and Anabaena. Industrial fixation. Dito naman, synthetic method yung ginagamit sa pag-convert ng atmospheric nitrogen to nitrogen oxides or ammonium. Number 3, atmospheric fixation. Dito naman, tinutulungan ng kidlat yung nitrogen to be fixed. The lightning provides energy needed for nitrogen gas to react with oxygen, producing nitrogen oxide na madidissolve sa ulan na magpo-form into nitrates that will enter in soil with rainfall.
Nitrification. Nitrification is the process of converting ammonia into nitrates by nitrifying bacteria. In some textbook, it is a biological oxidation or a chemical reaction where one compound loses electron of ammonia to nitrate. So what does that mean? It means that bacteria, the biological part, breaks down or oxidizes ammonia to nitrate. So biological nitrification, or simply nitrification, is a short formula of NH4, ammonium, which converts to NO2, nitrites, and which is converted finally to NO3, nitrates. Now this formula doesn't make any sense or mean anything, but this formula is actually a quick reference to the nitrogen or N in the NH4, which is ammonium. And this nitrogen and ammonium gets broken down by an aerobic bacteria into nitrite. Then another set of bacteria came along and further convert that nitrite into his final version, nitrate. And nitrate is the final form of nitrogen from the nitrification process. At this point, plants can absorb the nitrogen in a process called assimilation process. But why do we need to care about nitrification? Bakit hindi rin ito pwedeng isang walang bahala? It's because of nitrogen in the form of ammonia is highly toxic to marine animals or the aquatic life. Also, this conversion is very important as ammonia gas is toxic for plants.
When the nitrifying bacteria successfully converted the ammonia to nitrates, the nitrogen compound nitrates are taken up from soil by plants which then are used to make plant proteins. Ibig sabihin, isa sa mga responsable para makagawa ng plant proteins o para gumanda ang isang halaman o ang mga halaman ay ang mga nitrates. Kung wala ang mga ito, mag-decrease ang mga crop production at maninilaw ang mga dahon na magiging sanhi ng pagkamatay ng isang halaman o ng mga halaman. May isa pang pwedeng pagkunan ng halaman to make proteins. Ito ay sa pamamagitan ng pag-ulan o precipitation. Kapag umuulan, ang nitrogen ay na-convert sa nitrates with an instant. When the plants are eaten by the animals, the proteins are transferred in the animal's body, and this process is called nitrogen assimilation.
Ammonification. Other than nitrogen fixation, ammonification is also a process by which ammonia can be produced or generated. In ammonification, there's a different ways of producing or generating ammonia, and one of those are when an animal or plant dies. When an animal or plant dies, decomposers such as bacteria and fungi consume the organic matter and lead to the process of decomposition. So during the process, these decomposers break down amino acid and nucleic acid into ammonia and release it back into the soil. Other than that, we can also produce or generate ammonia from organism waste and volcanic eruptions.
Denitrification. So what is denitrification? Denitrification is the process that converts nitrate to nitrogen gas, thus removing bioavailable nitrogen and returning it to the atmosphere. So simple in Tagalog, denitrification, yun nga yung proseso na kino-convert yung nitrate para ma-turn back siya sa nitrogen gas, kasi babalik siya sa atmosphere para maging continuous and balanced yung cycle. So, paano nga ba nangyayari yun? Tingnan natin sa video. As you can see from the video, nitrates are turned into nitric oxide, which is then turned to nitrogen. So, paano yung nangyayari? Hindi naman siya magically na nako-convert. So, it is with the help of denitrifying bacteria. And, ano yung examples ng denitrifying bacteria? Yun yung Bacillus, Parococcus, Pseudomonas. And yun lang. It is needed siya para maging, I will state it again, it is needed para maging continuous and balanced yung cycle and paulit-ulit lang siya. Kaya nga tinawag na cycle, di ba? And makikita nyo po dito din sa graph or din sa cycle na kung yung, if you pay attention, yung cloud po yung nagre-represent sa atmospheric nitrogen. So, unang part na diniscuss namin or diniscuss ni Michelle is yung nitrogen fixation. Makikita nyo dito, ito, yan po, yung pag-turn po sa ammonia, yung tinatawag natin na biological fixation na nag-help siya na ma-break down yung atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. Second is through lightning. Yun po yung atmospheric fixation. Yun po yung atmospheric nitrogen ay na anuhan ng lightning, tapos na ano po sabi ni Akal na yung rain po nagsisipin sa ground para maging nitrate. Third naman na sinabi ni Michelle is yung industrial, which is the use of fertilizers. So ito po yung part na nitrogen fixation. Second is yung denitrification of the ammonia. Yun po yung pagka-explain ni Zian kanina na yung pag-turn ng ammonia into nitrates na with the use of denitrifying bacteria. Alam niyo na po yun kasi na-explain na po ni Zian. Third is yung assimilation. Yun po yung sabi ni Akal kanina na yung nitrates pa ay na-absorb ng plants para maging protein tapos kakain siya ng animals. Yun po. Fourth is ammonification. Yun po yung sabi ni Abdallah na through the use of ammonification, yun po yung mga wastes ng mga animals po or yung mga dead animals po ay nadedecay and nata-turn po siya sa nitrate through the use of nitrifying bacteria ulit. Which is then yung sunod is yung denitrification na in-explain ko kanina na yung nitrate ay na de-denitrify by the use of denitrifying bacteria para maibalik po sa atmospheric nitrogen. And the cycle continues and repeats. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po sa